I lived in San Francisco after I moved back to the States from Australia. And San Francisco's got an amazing transit system. It's awesome. It's really widespread. You can get a lot of places. But it's a little bit of a throw you to the wolves kind of attitude about figuring it out. It's not as easy to figure out as I thought it was going to be. There was more than once where I've taken the bus going the wrong direction or whatever. There was lots of times, but one time stood out more than all of them. It was the morning after a particularly big night. And when I say big night, it was the first time I did ecstasy, so it was big. It was pretty serious, and I felt absolutely awful. Serotonin levels were drained. It was a disaster. And not only that, the guy I had recently started dating, who we had decided to go on this like religious experience together with, didn't have the same phone as me, and I didn't have a charger. I hadn't anticipated being out all night, didn't bring a charger. So I've got a very dead phone, but I'd been living there long enough at this point that I figured I knew how to get to my home in Marin. Easy. Take the 101 over the Golden Gate Bridge, get off at my house. The stop was in front of my door. It was perfect. Very, very begrudgingly kind of dragged myself to the stop and just, was awful. I was in last night's clothes. I was sweaty. It was awful. And I'm sitting there and I'm just going, cool, I've only got like 20 minutes before I'm gonna be at my house and I can take a shower and go back to bed. This is wonderful. And 101 comes, I hopped on, tagged on with the Clipper card, easy. And the Marin transit buses are really nice too, because Marin people have lots of money and don't like to take their nice cars into the gross city. That's the general attitude of people who live in Marin. They're like, they go to places in the city to like have flavor in their blood. Like it's a weird place. It's very, like I lived down the road from Sean Penn when I lived there. I lived in a tiny place, but it was like, oh, Sean Penn lives down the road. That's a bizarre thing to hear when you're like moving in. Someone's like, oh, by the way. But I was on this bus, and as we're going, we're coming up to where I need to go, and so I pushed the little button, and we made no indication they were going to stop. That just didn't, nothing. Just kind of kept going, and I kind of panicked a little and went, okay, well, maybe it just didn't take, and I just pushed it another couple times, and he's just kept going, like didn't take the exit off of nothing, just kept going. I was like, well, maybe this is like a weird extra route. I don't know. They're going to do like a loop or something. All right, well, even if we get off at the main hub in like San Rafael, I can still find my way home. There's other buses. It'll be fine. We're coming up to the exit for the hub, and we just blew past it. Just kept going. And at this point, I'm starting to panic a little bit, but I'm pushing the button, and I'm noticing everyone on the bus has like pillows. And like it didn't make any, like there's like people that are like just like settling in and like with blankets and like, all right. I was like, this can't be a good sign. This is not good. And as we're going and I'm just pushing the button and I'm panicking, and I'm really panicking at this point, and I'm shooting off frantic text messages to my boyfriend, to the family I was staying with, everything, and I'm getting really just responses of, oh well, sounds like you're trapped on like a bus to hell or something. I don't know what to tell you. There's nothing we can do for you now. Like, God be with you. That was it. That was all that they could tell me. And like I'd said, it was a big night before, and my hormone levels were all kinds of off. So I just kind of started weeping after we passed the sign that was like, welcome to Petaluma. And Petaluma's like an hour north of where I lived. I'm just like, watching the number just like drop. It's like from like 18 to 17, and it's an iPhone, so it's going real quick. And I'm just like kind of sobbing a little bit, just real quiet, like, I guess I have to live in Petaluma now. It's less and less buildings and more cows, and it's just got really out of control really quick. And finally, like, because every time I pushed the button, it made a noise, and slowly the bus full of people, like, sleeping in their 4-hour bus ride to who knows where are just looking at me like, can you cut that the fuck out, please? And finally, the bus just pulled over, and the guy was like, you want it off? Here's a stop, and threw open the doors. And I was I couldn't explain anything. My anxiety kind of kicked in, and I was like, well, I guess I have to get off on the freeway. And I just got off with my mostly dead phone. and didn't know what the fuck I was supposed to do. I just kind of looked around and was like, I don't know where I am. And I'm sending messages to anybody, and they're like, well, none of us have cars. I don't know what you're gonna do. This is not good. I went into a gas station. Someone had a charger. I kind of just sat there awkwardly and was like, I've got like $7. I'll pay for something. And they were like, don't worry about it. And I just sat there and drank some water and waited. And I had found out that I had been on the 101X, which is an express to, I think, Santa Rosa? I don't know, somewhere very far that I'd never heard of. It definitely didn't say that. Maybe it did. I wasn't paying that. I just saw 101 and just blindly did it, didn't pay any attention, and hopped on this bus. But I found a little Turkish cafe and had to wait 3 hours for the next bus going down back to where I lived. Met a really nice man who had been in Turkey, who moved here from Turkey. We shared apple tea. Didn't know that existed. It was pretty good. But what normally would have been like a half an hour ride home turned into like a 5-hour adventure to Petaluma that I didn't sign up for. So it was pretty good. But that's one of the things I've really, like, that just throw you to the wolves, figure it out on your own. You make enough mistakes, you'll stop making them, hopefully, kind of attitude that San Francisco had was life-changing, to say the least. But I think it's one of the things I really like about Circulate is that they're trying to not have that attitude. They're trying to be like, let's be helpful and let's be cool and like come together and have conversations about stuff. And so that's one of the things I was really excited when they asked me to help out and be a part of this. So give it up again for Circulate for being really rad kind of all around.